right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. How are you doing? This is Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Dozier. Welcome to episode number 785 of the program. Hopefully, everyone had a great weekend. As I was talking to DJ Bisek behind the glass just a minute ago, last week was kind of like groggy, like rolling out of bed, hitting snooze a few times, proverbially speaking. But this week, the engine is fully up. Hibernation's over. I don't know about you if you vibe with this, but I feel like we're up and running and we are back in 2025, all wide open. Just, you know, if you're a Navy person, taking that throttle thing and pushing it all the way to full tilt or whatever you guys do over there in the Navy. Oh boy. So here's the show format. Over the next hour, me, you, Dennis, Keith, FSD, SSD, Space Tacos, DJ Bisek behind the glass, my friends in Mod Chat like Chris Whitlock, Jenny Housley, Kimberly Can Fix It, Justin Gold with the bad mitt. We are all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day. And I'll be giving my expert opinion analysis on each of those stories and what it means to you as a practitioner. So how can we use this information to drive cyber risk reduction for our business stakeholders, which is ultimately what the plan is, what the goal is. If you're a solo operator, you're a one-person shop, hashtag Team Solo. Believe it, the Simply Cyber community is here for you with the Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Good on you for wanting to stay current to be able to do your job more effectively. But don't feel you got to go it alone, because the Simply Cyber community in chat right now is essentially like a virtual co-workers. You know, bounce ideas, share things. Don't disclose sensitive information. But know that core values here at Simply Cyber are support, inclusion, value delivery, integrity. And we believe that, and you can get some help, you can get some support from the community. Also, my friends, if you're a first-timer, first time here for the show, maybe someone told you about it at a New Year's Eve party, and you remember, you know what I'm saying? And you're here for the first time, welcome to the party, pal. Let us know in chat with the hashtag first-timer. We have a special sound effect. We have a special emote, and those are for you, my first-time friend. Now, I want you to know there's a bunch of stories we're going to be going through. We got U.S. sanctioning prominent Chinese cyber companies, apparently. We've got some contractor or French military doing something wrong. I can't tell you exactly what it is because I don't prep or research for this show. And because of that, it's true, it's authentic, it's legit, and we do it every single day in this format. It's all about good times. Welcome to the party. Now, before we get into it, let me say shout out and holler to your 2025 stream sponsors. We got some interesting ones, some familiar faces, couple new ones coming in here in 2025. Let's take a hot minute and hear about Delete Me. I got to tell you, personally speaking, I've used Delete Me for months, and I was actually in Massachusetts this weekend for a little shoot-in, shoot-out for a very special 75th surprise birthday party for a family member. And I was talking to one of my family about Delete Me, and they're all in, so I'm actually going to be getting that for them. Let's hear from Delete Me for 30 seconds, and when we get back, we'll continue the show and get it going. As a person that exists publicly, especially since I share my opinions and hot takes daily, I'm hyper aware of my safety and security, and it's even easier to find personal information about people online these days. All the data is just hanging out there on the internet, and it can have real life consequences. But I recently found a solution, and this service is called Delete Me. Delete Me is a subscription service that removes your personal info from the largest people search databases on the web, and in the process helps prevent ID theft, doxing, phishing scams, stuff like that. And when you sign up, you tell Delete Me what data you want deleted, and they go off and do it. Cool thing is you get a personalized privacy report every month that shows what they deleted, where they found it, etc. It's pretty cool. For me personally, it's like outsourcing your online privacy, which honestly, I don't have time to do that myself or do it well. So for them to handle it is awesome. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at the special discount for Simply Cyber listeners. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter code simplycyber at checkout. That's JOINDELETEME.com. That's right. They actually do individual plans, which is what I have. They do family plans, which I know some of you in the community have. And they also do couples plans, which is what I was looking at for my aunt and uncle. I do want to say really quick shout out to Stacy McHetz. Stacy McHetz, welcome to the party, pal. And if you can, do me a favor, friends, drop your John McClane emotes, if you will. Where's my John McClane emote? Do I not have a John McClane emote? What is going on here? Computer? Guys, do we have John McClane emote? Why? I don't see it. Oh, there he is. Oh, John, you rascal. You rapscallion, you. All right, guys, it's all about good times. Did you know every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief is worth half a CPE? So be sure to say what's up in chat, just like Stacy did, Kimberly's doing, David P, Jessica Probst, Stones fan, hashtag Team Solo. Good to see you, Robert. Guys, say what's up, grab a screenshot, file it away, and once a year, count up the screenshots, divide by 2. That's how you get CPEs, and they're pretty easy. The chat's right there above my head. Super, super easy. All right, Billy Orellana coming to us from 30,000 feet. Be sure to say hi to James McQuiggan up there in seat 3B, David. Good to see you. Hope you're traveling safe and sound, and welcome to the party, pal. David, do me a favor. Nudge the person in the seat next to you and give them the old head nod. They might or share an earbud with them. They might dig it. I'm joking, of course, but it is all about good times. Guys, you know what else is all about good times? My friend Eric Taylor and the crew over at Barricade Cyber Solutions. Guys, Barricade Cyber Solutions is dedicated to helping businesses from cyber attacks and recover from the damage done. Cyber attacks can cause massive issues for businesses and send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil. But Barricade Cyber Solutions knows how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents. Check them out at barricadecyber.com. Links in the description below. If you're dealing with a cyber incident, ransomware, business email compromise, etc., and you're overwhelmed or don't know what to do, holler at barricadecyber.com. You'll be glad you did. We've got a couple more ads. At the mid-roll, we'll be rolling with the Threat Locker, and our good friends Antisyphon. Stay tuned, because after the show's over, we're going to be doing 30 minutes of Jaw Jacking. Jaw Jacking is a show where we answer all your questions. Have a good time. I'm pretty excited to do some Jaw Jacking and share stuff. There's a lot of good happening in our industry. It's also Monday. So, folks, on Mondays, we recognize one member of the community. I don't know if he is in chat right now, but if he is, he's going to get recognized, and I'm very excited. A very deserving community member who will win a $100 Amazon gift card, but more importantly, be recognized by the community for all of his great effort and great work. All right, guys, we got 50 seconds here. Let me just run the Antisyphon ad really quick since we got 50 seconds, and then we will drop in to the top news of the day, and I will melt faces. Crypto Spotify listener into chat. Welcome to the party, pal. Let's go. Do you want cutting-edge, high-quality cybersecurity education, regardless of financial position? Check this out. I want to give some love and some praise to Antisyphon Training, powered by Black Hills Information Security. Antisyphon Training is absolutely disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. They bring industry professionals with years and years of experience into the classroom to teach you and anyone else who's interested practical skills that are in demand in the market today. And on top of that, the student experience is amazing, as you and hundreds or thousands in some instances of other students are actively engaging, networking, sharing tips, tricks, and experiences with each other, all live in the classroom. Go to antisyphontraining.com, check out their course calendar to see what course. All right, let's go. Love it, love it, love it. Do me a favor, sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome wave. See you at the mid-roll.
Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Monday, January the 6th, 2025. I'm Steve Prentice. U.S. sanctions China's Integrity Technology for role in Flak's Typhoon attacks. Following up on a story we covered last September, U.S. officials are now confirming that the Beijing-based Integrity Technology Group provided China's Ministry of State Security and several Chinese state-backed hacking groups, quote, with infrastructure that allows them to attack multiple victims, based in the U.S., end quote. China-based hackers working for Integrity Tech, known to the private sector as Flak's Typhoon, successfully targeted universities, government agencies, telecommunications providers, and media organizations in the U.S. and elsewhere, according to State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller, speaking on Friday. These sanctions freeze all U.S. assets of the company and limit the amount of interaction financial institutions can have with it.
All right. Hey, Tony MBA, starting my first role today as a risk analyst. Huge thanks to Jerry and the entire community. Heck yeah, dude. Oh my God, that's so awesome, dude. Tony MBA, straight crushing it like a boss. 28 months a squad member, but more importantly, starting the day with GRC. Hashtag GRC Mafia. Congratulations, Tony. Crush it like a boss. Just quick side note, Tony. I know you're going to crush it, but if you want, I have a video on the channel on how to absolutely destroy your first 90 days at your new job. If you're interested. Okay, so Flax Typhoon has been a real bane of existence lately for the United States, right? National security perspective, they are the ones that have gotten into the telecommunications. It's been mentioned like nine different nine telecommunication companies. So like the big ones like AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, etc. But then like Lumen was somehow one of them. I don't know. Whatever. Trump, what's her face? Kamala Harris, JD Vance, like high-ranking U.S. government politicians in the recent presidential election, of course, were they had logs and stuff, potential compromises being done. There wasn't really a lot of insight being reported publicly as to what level of compromise. Remember that law enforcement that has legal, like FOIA requested wireless taps and stuff like that, that infrastructure exists. And yes, you need to have legal rights and judge approval taps and stuff like that. But the actual technology is there, right? Just like remote access solutions, you need to be approved in order to jump into someone's box and go administer it or whatever. But the actual technology, the infrastructure is there. So if someone else wants to weaponize it, just like we saw recently with China and Beyond Trust going into the Department of Treasury, it can be done. This is no different, right? So there was some concern there that law enforcement's wiretaps and stuff like that could have been weaponized by Flax Typhoon. Now, this Flax Typhoon story is quite large, quite serious, and it's been going on for quite some time. I would say at least 6 months. It's been kind of floating around, and finally the United States has figured out that it's this company called Integrity Technology Group that is either is Flax Typhoon or is directly responsible for supporting the infrastructure used by the operators that represent Flax Typhoon. This is they're in bed with the state, right? So like the deal, like, listen, this isn't exactly a one-to-one, right? But like Rand Corporation, MITRE, like these are private, think tanks, but really most, if not all of their funding comes from the US government, right? So you can't be like, oh, like it's a private company. How do you know it's the People's Republic of China? It's one of these ones where like, that's why the company was built. That's its entire function. They're not like moonlighting as a government contractor and like doing private sector stuff on the side. Like this is what they're for. And it's no surprise that, China's leveraging them. Now, obviously, when you get the United States puts the eye of Sauron directly on this group and says, okay, we know it's you. Now we're going to sanction you. All ties to United States stuff is hindered. Spoiler alert, the United States is a massive consumer of product, which means
straight cash, homie.
Straight cash, homie. Yeah, Bustin' Justin. I definitely know Kamala Harris's name. I just, I'm up here, freestyling. So Integrity Technology Group is sanctioned, which means they're going to not be able to do a lot of things with the United States, which is going to have a significant impact on the finances and the revenue and stuff like that. It does not, just so everybody knows, this does not remove Flax Typhoon from telecommunication infrastructure. Any existing compromises, any persistence mechanisms that are in place running, those still happen. Okay, so this news is a nice development and it's going to impact this company. But if we're thinking about cyber threat actors, compromises, exposure, ongoing incidents and stuff, it does nothing for that. Okay, this is essentially what this story is doing. This is super, super left of boom for the next victim, for the next group of targets that, you know, China and this company would want to attack. So like anything that's in the wake, like basically that's the deal. Anything that's in the wake of this Flax Typhoon boat is all chummed up and the mud and silt is all kicked up. Like this doesn't do anything for that. It's the thing in front of it that it does have some impact because they're going to have financial constraints. They're going to be somewhat hindered. But honestly, with the power of the Chinese government behind them and the ultimate effectiveness that Flax Typhoon had at compromise, and frankly, the lack of repercussions or response to doing those compromises, I don't think it's going to slow them down.
Military contractor Atos dismisses ransomware attack claims. This is following up on a story we covered last April. The France-based company that secures communications for France's military and intelligence services, quote, on Friday dismissed as unfounded a ransomware group's claims to have compromised an internal company database, end quote. The group, called Space Bears, has promised to publish the stolen data on January the 8th. Atos, spelled ATOS, employs around 90,000 people and is, quote, in negotiations to sell off its advanced computing division to the French state as the company attempts to restructure and avoid financial collapse, end quote.
Okay, really quickly, I want to say what's up to Anderman. Seems like we're going to give him a welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Anderman seems like he's a passive observer, kind of jumping in chat. Been in a GRC role for a couple years, hashtag GRC Mafia, Anderman. And he's been watching a year consistently, hashtag Team SC, and it's helped him tremendously. So this is what I'm saying. Like the whole reason we do this show is to help people. Again, Simply Cyber core values, support, inclusion, empowerment. Like this is what we're doing here. And Anderman is a direct product or an outcome of that impact. So Simply Cyber community, it takes a village, and I want to thank you for all you have done in order to realize some of this value that Anderman has been getting. Okay, now to this story. This story, if you're a video game player, if you've played Call of Duty or Battlefield or anything, this literally reads like the intro story arc of any of those games. Oh, like, Atos, like the company name alone, Atos, a government contractor in intelligence and military, dismisses attack, offering to sell off their advanced computing division. Ugh, loot crates dropping from the sky. All right, so check it out. Here's the deal. This is a opportunity for learning for your own business on how to handle ransomware. Okay. If someone claims to have attacked you from ransomware, chances are you know it. Now, I do want to point out, they call it ransomware, and notoriously, you would know immediately because basically they encrypt your files and you're screwed, right? Well, data exfiltration has become quite popular, right? Normally they encrypt your data and do data exfil, but it's not uncommon for them just to do data exfil and not encrypt your stuff, because basically the defense mechanisms around wholesale encryption have gotten really good in the last couple of years, and it can kind of be detected or stopped. So they do the data exfil stuff, right? So it is possible to have a ransomware attack and not know that it was successful. So in this instance, it sounds like it's a pure data exfil threat actor group. Did they say who the threat actor group is? I don't think it said who the threat actor group was. Mods, does anybody know the threat actor group? Because I'll just tell you, because certain threat actor groups are known. Phobos ransomware. Okay. So Phobos I don't know off the top of my head if Phobos is a data exfil only group, but Phobos is, been around for a while. They've got strong workflows and stuff in place. Quality, I hate to say this because it sounds like I support them, but like quality malware that detonates. Thank you, Mr. Green. So Space Bears, seems like Space Bears is one of these like groups that is a customer of Phobos, which does ransomware as a service. Now, Phobos does their own attacks as well. But at the end of the day, here's the lesson learned for everybody. If a threat actor claims to have compromised your business, you don't agree, you don't admit it until you have some evidence, right? You don't ever want to admit breach. You really don't ever want to say the word breach unless you have conclusive evidence to support that has actually happened. Now, with regular ransomware attacks, what's going to happen here is Space Bears is either going to leak some information in order to validate that they do in fact have Atos's data and then give them an opportunity to purchase the data back, maybe at an inflated price at this point because they had to do the data leak, or Atos will tell them no, and then they will disclose all of the information fully in order to make good on their threat, or they won't, and then they'll be clown babies for threatening and not having it. If I had $100 and I was going to bet and like make an actual bet on, like a wager, I don't want Gen Z thinking I'm saying bet like no cap or whatever, fax no printer. So if I was going to make a wager for $100, I would tell you that this Space Bears crew definitely has data. Phobos is effective. There's very uncommon these days for a threat actor to make a claim that they have data and then they don't. We saw a little surge of that at the end of 2022. I can't remember the threat actor group, but they were basically taking credit for like other people's hacks, which was like super lame. I think they were like honestly, I think they were a young person. But basically, the TLDR here is you should do all the things for ransomware, all the basic protections, all the basic response and recoveries. And you should think through, if you're doing a tabletop exercise, you should include an injection in your tabletop exercise on like not the encryption part, right? The encryption part's kind of played out like welcome back, Cotter. Like you want it to be more of, hey, we just got contacted by a threat actor who says they do in fact have 4 terabytes of our data and they're going to leak it unless we pay a ransom. What do we do? This is much more of an exercise for leadership, not IT, because IT doesn't do anything. Leadership could engage IT and say, hey, listen, do we have any logs to see data exfil going out the environment? Do we have SIM logs that we can see large data flows going to unknown IP addresses, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, this is a great scenario for leadership because you could say, what do you want to do? Like, do we pay the ransom? Do we go public? Do we call the FBI? Do we call legal? Do we just ignore the claim? Do we wait till they data leak it, et cetera, et cetera? That's what's up with that. Okay, really quickly, I want to say Stacy McHetz, who is our first timer for the day, says, I'm excited to join the party. I'm an RN. Now transitioning to my new career interest in cyber. Looking forward to connecting. I will tell you, Stacy, you're more than welcome to stay over on LinkedIn, but honestly, there's a bit of a party going over on YouTube and in the chat. So if you come back for day 2, Stacy, or you're feeling frisky and you want to get over here right now, you can go to youtube.com/@simplycyber or simplycyber.io/streams. Or a mod will bring you over, whatever. Come on over. There's a lot of fun over on the YouTube side of things. All right. So really quick, Rich464 says, is it better to say we have no evidence of any breach or we are investigating these claims or no comment, radio silence? Okay, so if I was CISO of a company or leadership of a company, what I would say is, in this instance, I would say we are, we take claims like this seriously. We are currently investigating these claims and will make you aware, public or stakeholder or shareholders or whatever. We will make you aware as the situation develops, and then follow on. Once you discover whether or not there is a breach, you would say we have no evidence of any breach, or we do have evidence to support that there was in fact a breach. Although I will point out, just not to play Game of Thrones or to play games here, your investigation of these claims can take quite a while. I mean, there was some company recently that did like 5-year investigation into the claims. I forget which one it was, but Mod Chat's talking to right now. You definitely don't want to make this decision on your own. Legal, general counsel, external counsel, CEO, PR. You want them all involved and on the same page. This is definitely not something you want to cowboy up and go YOLO with. But as the person who like runs Simply Cyber as a business, I would say we're investigating these claims. Take it seriously, show some initiative, and actually pay it some mind, right?
German airports hit by IT outage. As reported in Reuters, quote, German airports were hit by a nationwide IT outage affecting police systems at border control on Friday, causing disruption and longer immigration queues for passengers from outside the European Union's Schengen travel zone. The Schengen zone consists of 29 European countries that have officially abolished border controls at their mutual borders and placed them under a single jurisdiction. The cause of this IT outage is not yet known, but major airports including Berlin, Frankfurt, and Dusseldorf reported longer waiting times at immigration for non-Schengen passengers.
Not Dusseldorf. Anything but Dusseldorf. It's just fun to say. Oh, sorry, you guys are looking at my big face. All right, today at 2 p.m., there's been disruptions to border control flights. Listen, there is no indicating that this is a cyber attack, okay? You know, it could have been, right? And Stacy Carl is a token person that we use here at Simply Cyber to represent a end user, because end users sometimes make mistakes. Also, engineers make mistakes, right? You could have pushed a bad patch, right? Casually Joseph, trying to get out for the weekend, just says, send it on Windows 11 H2, 24 H2. Just send it and causes a thing. CrowdStrike sends an update and detonates things. So this issue, don't think just because there's an IT impact means that there's a problem, right? It could be DNS, right? A lot of people like to point to DNS. It could be a firewall rule. It's likely not. But I also think it's a pretty big problem, right? Nationwide IT outage affecting police systems at the border control. Again, government agencies are going to leverage similar back-end infrastructure, so it could be that. Now, the fact that it is Germany is quite a power player in the NATO alliance. Russia has been, basically like meddling with Germany quite a bit lately and other kind of NATO-based countries. So there is, you have to leave the door open for more of a focused terror attack or terror inspired attack, but we'll see. At the end of the day, what I would say for you as a practitioner is it sounds like Germany had some pretty decent business continuity plans. So in business, right, there's basically critical processes, right? This is how we make money, period, right? At the end of the day, or this is our mission. This is what we do. For mission critical things, you need to have a continuity plan in order to do that, in order to deliver it, even if it's at limited capacity, right? And like silly examples, when I go on travel, I have a travel studio. The look and feel of the show is not exactly 100% of this, but it's a good 80%. You get the news, the community's there, we have a good time, and it works. What I don't do is say, well, I guess I'm not in my office. I guess I can't do the show. Like, you make it work. Stacy McHetz over on YouTube now. We'll give Stacy another welcome to the party, pal, now that she came over to YouTube. Welcome to the party. Listen, Stacy knows it. In healthcare, if your systems go down for patching or maintenance or a cyber attack, the nurses and the clinical staff, they practice downtime procedures. They have paper processes. They know, well, The older ones know. Hopefully the newer ones who come up on tech still get trained this way. But like, there's downtime procedures because you need to know how to deliver patient care, even when things gone sideways, right? You can't just throw your hands up and be like, well, I guess we're not going to do it. That's what Germany's done here. They have quickly responded by collapsing some capabilities into one capability. Yes, people flying through Germany are going to be inconvenienced. Yes, it's going to take longer, just like it does at the holidays, right? But they have a plan. And obviously, I would assume that they have some staff looking into this IT outage and trying to get it resolved as quickly as possible. So we'll see how it goes. All right, let's keep going. Ooh, someone called Nick Barker.
Thanks to today's
Someone called Nick Barker. It's exactly 8:30, hitting it right at the mid-roll.
episode sponsor, Nudge Security. What do identity risks, data security risks, and third-party risks all have in common? They are all exacerbated dramatically by SaaS sprawl. Nudge Security helps you mitigate these risks by delivering an inventory of every SaaS account ever created by anyone in your organization within minutes of starting a free trial. But discovery is just the first step. With Nudge, you can automate ongoing governance tasks like security posture checks, user access reviews, employee offboarding, and more. Visit nudgesecurity.com/headlines to start a free trial. That is NUDGE security.com/headlines.
All right, now before we do the mid-roll, let's hear from ThreatLocker really quick, and then we're going to introduce our friend Stacy McHetz to what we do every mid-roll. Alpha Sierra will lead us off. Let's do ThreatLocker, and then we are going to crack into the mid-roll, and I'm going to tell you who the Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week is. It's going to be all about good times. Let's do it. 30 seconds with ThreatLocker. We didn't do ThreatLocker, right? Yeah, no, we did. Yeah. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. All right, hey, guess what? Alpha Sierra and crew. Let's introduce Stacy. We do this every day, Stacy. All right, guys. I hope you're having a good time. As Chris Whitlock just put it in mod chat, how is it already January 6th? How are we already at the mid-roll? Slow down. How is things going so quickly? Jesus, it's fast today. Guys, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. We are back in it, full swing 2025. No more resting. The Christmas decorations are in the box and put in the attic. We are moving towards 2025 work. Guys, if you're getting value from the stream, hit that like button on YouTube. It goes a long way to help others like Stacy find the channel. I've got metrics and goals for 2025 to grow the Simply Cyber audience. The Daily Threat Brief, 15%. We're at 426 right now, so hopefully getting to 550, 600 by the end of the year. So we'll see how that goes. I've got some plans. I've got some ideas, but it does come from all of you sharing and helping in that way. So hit the like button if you can. I do want to say shout out and thanks to the stream sponsors, Barricade Cyber, Delete Me, Antisyphon, ThreatLocker. Kimberly Can Fix It's actually working on a new mid-roll placard card here. So look for that to get changed, much similar to the way she hooked up this intro roll. All about good times. Okay, guys. Every single day of the week, Stacy, we do something special. Oh, shoot. All right. Hey, really quickly. So I just want everybody to know, Mondays is Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week, right? We do this every single day. Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week. We recognize one community member that's awesome. Now, I want you to know, earlier in the, like, this is episode 700 and, whatever. Like episodes like 0 to like 200. Mondays was my son Callan's art of the week, and I would show some art. He's very, very talented, very creative. He actually did some work, and he asked me to show his artwork today as kind of a throwback to Callan's art of the week. So I'm going to try like heck to do this song and or do this role really quickly, introduce you to the community member of the week, all that, and then I'm going to run like the Dickens into my kitchen, go get that, come running back and show that. So please grant me some grace. It would mean the world to my son. All right, let's keep going here. Guys, Mondays is Community Member of the Week, sponsored by ThreatLocker. ThreatLocker takes a deny by default approach to cybersecurity. Just like it takes a village to secure your business, it takes a village to make Simply Cyber so amazing. So the recipient of a $100 Amazon gift card and the recognition of being just an amazing individual in our hashtag Team SC is Phil Stafford. Now, Phil Stafford is in chat. Phil Stafford, many of you might know because he might be the very first person to reach out to you when you join the community. Phil is always quick to reach out, connect with people, welcome them into the community, warm reception, kind of point out where the bathroom is and, what the cycles look like around here. So, Phil, thank you for being an amazing Simply Cyber community member. DM me if you would so I can get your email address so I can send you that $100 gift card. Thank you, Phil. And guys, Phil is in chat right now, so please say hello to him. DJ Bisek, just so you know, you don't have to come on, but I'm about to try to run into the I'm about to run in there. All right, guys, I'll be back in just a hot minute. Please talk amongst yourselves and say hello to Phil. All right, I'll be right back. La 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 la's. Alpha Sierra, get those la 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 la's on, please. All right, really quick. Monday used to be Callan's art of the week, and we're doing a little throwback. Callan's sports car coloring book, and he would like you to know about this sick Lambo. Somebody call Heath Adams. We got a new one for him. Callan, great job, and thank you for always contributing and supporting the channel. I love you, Callan. All right, guys, we got work to do, so let's get back into it, finish strong, and get into jaw-jacking.
More than 3 million unencrypted mail servers potentially exposed to sniffing attacks. The security threat monitoring platform Shadow Server is notifying mail server operators that about 3.3 million hosts are running POP3 or IMAP email services without TLS encryption enabled, which can expose usernames and passwords in plain text when transmitted over the internet. This means that passwords used for mail access may be intercepted by a network sniffer. Additionally, service exposure may enable password guessing attacks against the server, the company said. Most large-scale operators like Microsoft, Google, Apple, and Mozilla have been using TLS for more than 20 years, but it seems some email operators have not got on board with TLS encryption. However, Shadow Server also announced on Friday that it is currently suspending their reporting on this issue due to a large number of potential false positives.
Oh my gosh, so it's been a minute. So obviously, email security is critical, right? You want your emails to be secure. You want the communication between a mail server and your device or endpoints to be secure. And I always got confused. I did just read it in the story, so like I don't want to fake knowledge here, but you can use IMAP, which is like Internet Mail Access Protocol, I think, or POP3, which is Post Office Protocol 3. And the difference is IMAP, you basically are looking at it on the server, and POP3 downloads it locally. Now, if you're getting on a plane and going off, airplane mode or whatever, and you have IMAP, you're not going to be able to check your email, but POP3 you can download and access. So it is a little bit of a trade-off between convenience and whatever. But when it downloads to your device, POP3, there is a network communication component to it. And if you are not using encryption, then it could be sniffed. Now, it does say without TLS encryption, so are vulnerable to sniffing attacks. Now, I don't know if this means no encryption or this means weak encryption, right? So I'm not going to get too much into SSL and TLS and why they changed the name. I guess I read on Twitter, this guy named Errata Rob. It's Rob Graham. I guess Microsoft did it because they were pissed at Netscape way back in the day, and they changed the standard, and they completely changed the name of the acronym in order to just fully eviscerate Netscape from the RFC, annals or annals. Annals? Is it annals? Kind of the way that, like in the movie 300, the Persian Empire said they were going to erase the Spartans from history if they didn't get along. It's like anything else, guys. You're not just are the annals of history. It's a way to say it, isn't it? I'm pretty sure I'm not making this up. When the data comes down, though, not only is it your email that is exposed, but also the credentials, because you have to send them to stop. Like, I'm not wrong, guys. It's annals. I'm not making it up. Look it. Here's a book, The Annals of History. It comes from the Latin word anus. I'm not making this up, guys. Like, you think I'm just being gross here and with potty mouth guy, but on Simply Cyber, I am family friendly, okay? So just deal with it. I'm telling you, it's not anals, it's annals. I think the microphone, is this thing on? Okay? My accent, guys. It's my accent. Just chill. Why are we making a thing about this? Okay, so check it out. If your credentials get popped, you're screwed. Your email, I feel like it's more of a concern of credential compromise than it is about your email, right? Because, whatever. Someone sends you an email, you get a newsletter or something like that. It's not super sweaty that it's been compromised, but your password, if you have bad password management, yeah, I said anals first, but I was trying to work through it. Is this coffee good? I need stronger coffee. I'm just saying, guys. You guys are bad. Simply Cyber community, #TeamSC. Geez. Trying to find something that isn't there. Pain in the annals. All right. So shadow servers used everywhere. Here's the TLDR, guys. If you are managing IT or email or all of the above, and you are using shadow server somehow, I think that's the service, you might want to look to see if you have an issue. If you are configured for POP3 or IMAP, now obviously the POP3 is the one that you'd want to be concerned with. You may have the credentials compromised. You may have those email communications compromised. What you want to do is make sure that you have TLS encryption enabled and move forward from that, okay? Oh, shadow server is the one who's actually monitoring. Okay, so there's 3 million hosts out there running these services without TLS encryption. Guys, at the end of the day, here's the deal. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty straightforward to turn on TLS encryption for email. Go configure it. Make sure it's configured. There we go.
Vulnerability discovered in Nuclei.
Moving on.
A vulnerability scanner. A high-severity security flaw has been disclosed in Project Discovery's Nuclei, which is a widely used open-source vulnerability scanner. Nuclei is designed to, quote, probe modern applications, infrastructure, cloud platforms, and networks to identify security flaws, end quote. According to cloud security firm Wiz, which made the discovery, the vulnerability is, quote, rooted in the template signature verification process, which is used to ensure the integrity of the templates made available in the official templates repository, end quote.
Wait a minute, what? So this is a one of those rare situations. Remember, all software has the potential of being vulnerable. Software is written by humans, and that's often what it is. Now, Nuclei, I haven't used Nuclei very much. I've played with it a little bit. I don't have a video on the channel of Nuclei, but Nuclei is a wicked popular vulnerability scanner that a lot of like security researchers, bug bounty people use. It's quite popular. It's quite powerful. It runs on Go, so it's wicked fast. So actually, it's worth checking out, right? If you're looking to make a video, hey, if you're in my PBCC course later today, maybe you want to make content about Nuclei. But it is software, and it sounds like it actually has a vulnerability of its own. Now, what's the problem with this is you really don't want to be a security researcher and be compromised, because you typically have access to, privileged access, so you can run tools that do things. And if someone gets into your box and is able to leverage it, they might be able to move around like less detected, because it's going to look like it's you. Plus, as a professional, it's pretty embarrassing when a security person gets compromised, because obviously, like, we're supposed to not be Carl. But it happens, right? I will tell you really quickly as a side note, I had too much caffeine yesterday, which is rare, and it kind of messed me up for a few hours. I was able to pull up from the nosedive, but it was not great there for a minute. The particular vulnerability, so if you're running Nuclei, make sure you get it updated, right? You gotta patch it. But the vulnerability itself comes from how the signature verification process and the YAML parser handle new line characters. So an attacker can inject malicious content into a template and maintain a valid signature. All right, so here's the deal. In software, we use PKI, or public key infrastructure, and certifications to sign code, and then we have a signature that says this is a legit, valid code. It comes from a legit, valid place. It's good to go. This vulnerability allows you to execute malicious code, and it appears to be signed. So that brings into question integrity. Yes, our good friend and security objective that constantly gets pushed to the back seat, integrity, confidentiality and availability get to walk down the red carpet, and then integrity is like that third dragon. You guys seen the meme where
best friends? Yep.
Space Tacos with the super chat? Thanks, Space Tacos. I love it here so much. The chat's pure gold. My stomach's cramping from laughing so hard. All right, Simply Cyber Comedy Club. Thank you, Space Tacos. I just want to tell you, like, the three dragon meme, availability and confidentiality are like, yeah, and then integrity is like the third goofy looking one, right? Integrity would be like Curly from the Three Stooges, right? It's not its fault. It just gets that rap. So anyways, this is like an interesting one. If you wanted to, it seems like it's pretty straightforward on how to exploit it. Again, this is more interesting from a research perspective and a sharing perspective, and less of a like, oh my God, shut the stream down and go fix it. This is not like Progress Software's Move It vulnerability. This isn't like Palo Alto and that Pan OS issue from a couple weeks ago. This is just like interesting, but not really like, I mean, obviously you want to fix it if it's a problem, but it's not like a big deal. You can stay here and continue cracking up, and when the show's over, you can go fix it.
University Medical Center confirms a May 2023 ransomware attack that affected 670,000 individuals. This ransomware attack on the medical center based in Staten Island, New York, and which provides a range of medical services including inpatient and outpatient care, emergency and specialty care, caused a multi-week disruption and forced staff to revert to manual data entry and individual patient monitoring. No details about the attack itself have been released, and no ransomware group has claimed responsibility. The hospital was able to maintain full patient services during the attack.
Yeah.
A notice released recently, which refers to a manual review process that released its own findings on December 1st, 2024, says that PII and other vital data, including financial account information, credit or debit card information, and or health insurance policy information, was stolen.
Okay.
Apple.
All right. So Stacy McHetz, RN for 10 years, looking to get into cybersecurity. Welcome to the party, pal. Guys, I worked at the Medical University of South Carolina. So I have worked at medical universities. If you get a chance to work at a medical university, what an opportunity. You will age at about 3x the speed. If you like watching your YouTube videos at 2x speed, well then, may I recommend working at an academic medical center because you will age at 3x speed. Working in healthcare is a hot mess express. Working in higher ed is a hot mess express. And when you combine the two, magic happens. This university suffered an attack in May of 2023. So like, oh my God. So like really quick, I said this earlier where like, oh, you could do an investigation for 5 years. This is a story about an attack from 2023. So this is considered news in 2025. Second of all sorts of information got leaked. You can expect that to happen. PII, PHI, research, all these things. Now, the good news is that, yeah, Phil Stafford, I saw it. Thank you very much. I'll get to it when I'm done streaming. So check it out. They had downtime procedures. If you missed it, they said that the hospital was able to continue to deliver service while the, basically the attack was happening. So this is good. This is what I was talking about earlier about downtime procedures in healthcare. But more importantly, I don't care if you work in manufacturing, healthcare, retail, state and local municipality, you have to be able to be resilient. That's why in 2025, okay, listen, in 2022, I was hell-bent on making GRC socially acceptable. I'm willing to say mission accomplished. I feel like GRC is on the map, okay? So I'm going to continue to push GRC Mafia because it's near and dear in my heart, but I feel like we've reached the goal there, okay? So now in 2025, I'm firmly on the mission of making cyber resiliency the norm of what we do. Because at the end of the day, cybersecurity is securing and preventing and blocking and all these other things. But let's be real, guys. If a threat actor wants to get in, they're going to get in. People have stupid passwords. People, for lack of a better word, make mistakes. It happens. Some threat actors are wicked good at what they do, and you're going to get popped. So then it's not about security. It's about resiliency. Thank you. So be resilient. Think through what happens if things go down. How do we respond technically? How do we respond from a process perspective? How do we respond from a human perspective? Who's in order of what commands? Who does what? Are the right people here? Do we have call trees? Do we have things written down? No. Kevin's been here for 30 years. Kevin knows exactly what to do. Yeah, guess what? Kevin takes vacations. Kevin's been here for 30 years. So from December 17th until January 6th, nobody knows where Kevin is. Okay? So you've got to do these things to be resilient. It sucks for Richmond University Medical Center, but I mean, honestly, like everything else, we have become desensitized to the impact of these attacks. BNIHHS's OCR's wall of shame, which is where you go if you have more than 500 medical records breached in a data breach. No one goes there anymore, right? It's like, whatever.
Pay Siri users $20 per device in settlement over privacy violations. The outcome of a class...
Oh my God. Connor, I don't know if you're joking. Connor says, what's GRC? German Racing Club. Really quickly, Connor, I'm going to assume that's a genuine question and you don't know what GRC is. I will tell you, I don't know. Is Zach Hill here right now? Is Zach Hill IT career questions? Somebody get Zach Hill on the line. Listen, I'm going to be making a video with Zach Hill soon called What the Hell is GRC? Listen, GRC, Connor, stands for governance, risk, and compliance. And it's basically the bastard stepchild of like information security or cyber resiliency or cybersecurity. Essentially, It is interfacing with the business, defining the overarching information security program, making sure that everybody is doing what they're supposed to be doing, and choosing where to spend resources. Like, Connor, you only have so much money, and honestly, you have to fight for that. You only have so many people, so you can't secure all the things. And even if you could, there's a diminishing returns on how much risk reduction you actually get. So the question is, Connor, what do we buy? Do we buy a DLP solution? Do we buy a SIM? Do we buy EDR, XDR? Do we outsource to MDR? And I know these are a lot of acronyms, but my point is you can't do all of them. So how do you choose where to spend your money and what project we're going to work on in the next 6 months in order to drive risk reduction? The answer is what a GRC person is responsible for coming up with. That's the value of GRC. It's not sexy. We don't get to hack into things. We don't get the cool eye candy wall of 50-inch monitors with like pew pew maps and stuff like that. We get a clipboard and a spreadsheet and we rock. And that's what GRC is. Welcome to the party, pal.
Action suit against Apple sees the company agreeing to pay $95 million to settle accusations that the iPhone maker invaded users' privacy through its Siri assistant. According to Reuters, the settlement applies, quote, to US-based individuals who are current or former owners or purchasers of a Siri-enabled device who had their confidential voice communications with the assistant obtained by Apple and or were shared with third parties as a result of an unintended Siri activation, end quote. The timeline for this issue is between September 17th, 2014 and December 31st, 2024. Eligible individuals can submit claims for up to 5 Siri devices. Valid claims can receive $20 per device.
All right. Sorry again, I forgot. I do need a producer to be able to change these. So maybe many of you heard about this. I heard about this. Siri has accidentally listened and privacy violation, and you can get $20 per device. Now, I do want to say shout out to Apple. $20 per device is pretty good. Normally, you're part of a class action lawsuit, and me, you, Mara Levy, Mr. Green, and Fred on each get 23 cents, and then a team of lawyers get like $8 million. Normally, that's what happens. In this instance, Apple's going to give us $20 per device. It'd be interesting to see how painful the process is to request that money. Remember, Apple bills themselves, first of all, as a hardware company. And secondly, Apple went way, way, way into, we are a privacy-focused company. They told the FBI to pound sand when the FBI asked for a master key backdoor into iPhones. They actually ran an ad campaign. Let me show you this, in case you don't remember. They ran an ad campaign. Look at, they had this one. Privacy is king. That's iPhone. They had this one. What happens on your iPhone stays on your iPhone. Okay. And many, many others. Okay. So like Apple went wicked hard into, we are big on privacy. We're your best friend. Ain't nobody going to stop us. You know, somebody wants to get you.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Right? We're your friend. We trust us. And then they have this hot mess express with a privacy violation. Now, again, you see the word accidental is going to be, you know, bold, highlighted, boldface font, everything like that. But it's an ugly look for a company that put a lot of money into positioning themselves as your privacy advocate. Now, let's talk real for a second.
Straight cash, homie.
The fine, or whatever you want to call it, is $95 million. $95 million. Now, for me, for the Simply Cyber community, right? If the 449 of us here got $95 million to split amongst ourselves, I'm not going to do the math, but we'd be pretty happy, right? We wouldn't each get $1 million, but a couple $100,000 would make it fit pretty good. Now, what if I said, hey, Space Tacos, you committed a privacy violation. You owe us $95 million, Space Tacos. You'd be like, oh, no, that's massively devastating. Well, Apple's total revenue in 2024, this last year, was, wait for it, $391 billion. $391 billion, okay? Literally, if you take $100 million from that, they still have $391 billion. Like literally, the fine that they took, or whatever you want to call it, the reparations, whatever the term is, the $100 million that they took, if you take it from their annual revenue and round up, they still make the $391 billion. This is not a big deal to Apple. I'm sure they're going to want to like make a big deal about how they care about privacy, but financially, whatever. Like it's a whatever, okay? Nerman, have a great day, buddy. All right, we're at 9 o'clock. Hey, you know, if you want your $20, go get it from Apple. I guess up to 5 devices, so you can make $100. Whatever. Dude, we actually saw something similar to this with Amazon Echo, and they were outsourcing recordings to Ukraine like 5 years ago, and the Ukrainians were sitting around basically listening to people's conversations like it was a soap opera. They had outsourced it for QA, QC. So like this, you basically have a listening device. There's all sorts of guarantees and promises and warranties that it's not being recorded and it's deleted and all that. But guess what? What they say on paper and what actually happens technically isn't always one-to-one. Okay, that's the reality of it. All right, we are at 9 o'clock, top of the hour. If you got to get out of here because you were here for the news only, we'll see you a little bit later, my friends. Otherwise, let's do this. All right, I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I want to point out really quick, shout out to Casually Joseph for whipping up this graphic. This is what I'm talking about. Confidentiality, availability, and integrity, they are not created equal, at least the way that cybersecurity professionals treat them. And thank you for this hilarious graphic. Guys, if you want to stick around the next 30 minutes, I will be doing what's called jaw jacking. Jaw jacking is a different show. You don't have to go anywhere. We roll right into it. And it is 30 minutes of Ask Me Anything. I will answer your questions to the best of my ability. The goal here is to set you up for success, empower you to move forward faster, stronger, more effectively in your cybersecurity career, whether you're trying to break in or you're trying to level up. That's what we're doing here. It is a community. You are part of the Simply Cyber community. Hashtag Team SC to recognize and represent. That's our shout out call sign. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Thanks to DJ BSEC behind the glass. Mr. Green, pass the Sec Plus. Congratulations. Thank you, Team SC, and you, Doc. It's our pleasure, Mr. Green, and super happy for you. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Jaw Jackin in a hot minute. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow at... Hold on. Kimberly, do we have a show at 9:30? Hold on. Hold on one second. We'll be back with Jaw Jackin in just a hot minute. Thank you, everybody. Until next time, stay secure.
Did we just become best friends?
Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jaw Jacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jaw Jacking. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Jaw Jacking. I want to say what's up to everybody. This is Jerry Guy. I am your host over the next half hour, bringing you hot AMA action. Some of you might be coming directly from the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, hosted by that nerd, Dr. Gerald Auger. Oh my God, what a stiff that guy is. Oh, talking about annals of history. What a dork. Oh, you got your Latin degree, did you, Gerald? I'm Jerry Guy. I'm cool. Let's take your questions and answers. I do want to say shout out. We got a super chat from Jess Bishop. Holla.
Did we just become best friends?
Can I just tell you, I am a huge fan of Jess Bishop. If you get a chance to meet her, she's excellent. And one thing that Jess and I don't agree on, she's a huge, like ghost hunter, spooky, kind of paranormal stuff. Jess, I'm glad you're doing it. You can have all of my paranormal pie slices too. It's too scary for me. I mean, I'm playing Call of Duty 6 and there's like a zombies level that I didn't know about, and I'm not sure I can finish the game. That's where I am on the paranormal scale. All right, guys, ask your questions. DJ Bisek, if he's willing, will flag them in chat, and I will do everything I can to answer them. Let's do this. Cool. All right, guys, what's cracking? Thank you, DJ Bisek. He will be flagging them, so we're here for you, y'all. All right. Dude, my hair is out of control. I desperately need a haircut. Like, pretty soon I'm going to have to give like a byline credit to my hair because it's turning into a character on the show. Steve Young says, I'm impressed with you teaching at the Citadel. What is the class title? What is the class title? Hold on one second. I'll tell you. I think it's Principles of Information Security. Hold on one second. Oh, and you actually reminded me of something. I think it's that. Yeah. So, yeah, this is the class right here. This is it right here. CSC 227, Principles and Practice of Cybersecurity. You can see here. Oh, wait, hold on. Brosif. I can't really zoom in right now because, I don't know, my Zoom It thing doesn't work, but you can see there's my name right there. Does this actually take you right to my, yeah. See if I can show you this. There we go. There's this guy. Look at this guy. Oh my God. I wish, I don't know why my zoom in feature doesn't work on Zoom It. It's frustrating. It's like I have to, yeah. It's like I have to launch it every time I start the computer. I've got to put it back into there. Anyways, that's what's up. It's good. Oh, as a programming note, everybody, Citadel does start back up this week. So starting Thursday, I will be teaching at the Citadel. What does that mean to you? Because you guys are like, who cares, you dork? We're here to get answers, not hear about you and your work. I have to drive to campus, right? Because Citadel is teaching in person. I have to leave at really 8:50. So the daily cyber threat brief will be slightly shorter than normal. And then jawjacking, I will not be able to attend. DJ Bisek has agreed to resume the mantle of the Thursday jawjacking segment. So there will be no decline in offering to the Simply Cyber community. I'm still waiting to get confirmation. Eric Taylor traditionally has done the Tuesday jawjacking. He's been wicked busy lately, so I don't know if his bandwidth will account for it or allow for it. But what I will tell you is we will do everything in our power here to give you a jawjacking on Tuesday as well. So just a programming note. Is Jabron Ilyas here? Hold on, I saw someone say Jabron. Oh, it's Jabron Shaquille. Hey, Jabron, good to see you. All right, so let's get some questions answered. Connor says, the real Bilbo, debating if it's even worth going through CYSA or if it should go through the CISP or CCNA route. So, Connor, you didn't ask me. It's not a question for me, but I will say it depends on what you want to do. I would say CYSA is pretty good for if you wanted to go SOC analyst. CCNA used to have a lot of market value. If you're weak at networking, CCNA would be good. If you want to work more on, I guess, like incident response side, firewalls, network engineers type security stuff, CCNA would be good. I don't have a thought about CISP, excuse me. CJ, Vegas's own. CCNA holds its water. This is from DJ Bisek, who is identifies as a network engineer. CJ says, in an interview, what's the best way to show interest without looking desperate? Great question, CJ. what I would say is, really, this is a difficult thing to do, but I would say, if you can, have the mental framing, if you will. Have the mental framing that you are seen as a peer to the person interviewing you, right? And like you're equally interested in what they're saying and in the opportunity as they are in telling you about it and interviewing you. Here's the thing. A lot of times, in my opinion, and this is one where if you have thoughts, chat, drop them in chat. And BSEC, if you got thoughts, drop it in chat mod, obviously. A lot of times when we think of interviewing for a job, you naturally, because of the power dynamics, you have this kind of like preconceived paradigm that they are in control and you are subservient to them, okay? Because they have something you want and they know it and you want it, so that it's not treated as an equal conversation, okay? Now, if you can frame it in your mind that you are not subservient to them, but you are there for a conversation to see if you could be useful or helpful to them, that is more powerful, and it's very it'll give you confidence, basically. Now, as far as showing interest in the job, I always found asking very thoughtful questions about what's going on there. So, like, say you're interviewing for a SOC analyst job, CJ, right? Yeah, you can ask them like, oh, like, what's the team look like? Or where are you in your information security maturity? Or, do you do detection engineering? Do you guys use like, whatever? Do you go threat hunting, whatever? But you could say like, you can ask more thoughtful questions like, hey, I know it's a SOC analyst one job, which is kind of like help desk, but like, I really am interested in threat hunting or detection engineering. That's really where I want to take my career. How does this role line up? Is there is there a career path from the job that we're talking about to getting into detection engineering? Is that if that's truly what you want to do, CJ, don't just fraudulently say it. But the idea is you're showing that you understand the career path. 2, you're indicating to them what your passions and interests are personally. 3, you're showing that it's much more of a career move than it is, I need to get paid or I need a job. You know what I mean? Like, it's not transactional. It feels much more like a long-term partnership. So I think that could be cool. Also, I just think I think those are the right moves. And anyone in chat who has thoughts, definitely share them. I think looking desperate is a bad look. You can be, unfortunately, it's not right or wrong. It's not right or wrong, but desperation does have a certain smell to it, proverbially speaking, and it's not a good smell. And it's unfortunate that that's the reality. And I don't know what kind of like deep human evolved thing it has to do with, but if you've ever dealt with someone who is desperate, it does have a thing to it. Dante Jennings, what advice would you give for 1 year of experience in compliance, Sec Plus, MS in cyber management, for landing a GRC role or SOC role? So you have a year in compliance, you have the Sec Plus, and you got a master's degree. Okay. So guidance for a GRC role, spoiler alert, Dante, you're already in a GRC role, right? So you have a very strong position there where you can say, hey, I've got a degree in management. GRC deals with the business. You've got a year of compliance, right? So lean into that. What I would say is I would highlight those particular elements on your resume. I would begin, if I were you, I would begin to start looking at how to assess risk and what risk assessment is. You can continue to go down the path of audit, but ultimately where you get paid in GRC and where you're most valuable is doing risk assessment. And this gets back to what I was talking with Connor earlier about you only have so many resources, so where do you spend it, right? Like if you didn't have multi-factor authentication or an EDR solution and you spent your money implementing DLP, that would be a boneheaded move, okay? That's like, listen, I'll make a football reference since Marcus Kyler and his Detroit Lions put on a hell of a entertaining game last night. GRC is kind of like the general manager of a football team, right? So you only have so many resources. You have a crappy quarterback and no receivers, right? And you get the number 1 draft pick and you draft a kicker. Well, guess what? You're getting fired. Just like if you are a CISO and you don't have basic fundamental cyber security controls in place and you get all geeked up about DLP or CASB solution or something like that, you're fired, right? You need to know what to do in order to drive cyber risk reduction. Again, I'm not saying that's where you need to be right now, Dante Jennings. I'm not expecting you to go from 1 year of compliance in a SEC Plus into a CISO role. But my point is, that is where the value is. So I would look at CISA certification, which is like the audit one. I would lean into the compliance areas that you've worked. I would go look at industries like healthcare, retail, ones that have federal IT, ones that have really well-defined compliance regulatory requirements. CMMC is going to be blowing up like fireworks in 2025, so look for that as well. If you wanted to go into a SOC role, you could still do that. I would leverage, if I was going to go into a SOC role, I would try to start leveraging things like MITRE ATT&CK, right? So kind of lean into the GRC piece of comprehensive information security, but a bend of like what matters to SOC analysts. That's what I would do. Yeah. All right. If you had only 8 minutes to give a presentation, what would it be on? Eric McClellan, that's a tough question because I don't know if you mean like fun things or if you mean like professional things. I feel like if I had 8 minutes to give a presentation on, like if I was going to do one of those Kamakutra or Pichakucha, there is a presentation format style. Pikachuka. Hold on one second. Hold on. We're going to do this together live right now. I think it's called Pikachuka. Let's see. Quick timed presentation style. Pikachuka. Pichakucha. Yeah, there it is. I'm not making this up. I know sometimes I think Mod Chat thinks that I'm making these things up. But this is a legit thing. Pichakucha. All right? Quick pace, 20 slides, 20 seconds. It takes exactly 6 minutes and 40 seconds. So if I was going to do a Pichakucha presentation, this is your... No, not Pikachu. I knew you were going to do that. And I know Justin Gold immediately went to Kama Sutra. But listen, Pichakucha, this is a real thing, okay? And I've done Pichakucha presentations before. So go ahead and add that to your bingo card for today. Or blow people's minds and give a Pichakucha style presentation. I will tell you, it is not for the faint of heart. It is not an easy format style because you don't control when the slides change. Like it's timed, okay? Anyways, if I was going to do an 8-minute presentation, I would do something. I would probably do an 8-minute presentation on either, the 5 quickest things you can do to break into cybersecurity, because that's like near and dear to my heart. I might also do an 8-minute presentation on how to make an effective piece of information security awareness content. Hopefully that answers your questions, people. I might also do an 8-minute presentation on true stories of Mod Chat, like just disclosing all sorts of insider secrets that they don't want you to know. I'm going to be a whistleblower. All right, let's keep going. Looks like that's all the questions right now in chat. Whoa, Real Bilbo. Hey, so for those who are going to be in the PBCC course today, I got to tell you, if you are in the PBCC course, this is now closed. I will be doing this live, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of this week. You should already have been contacted multiple times by me. You should have the role on Discord. You should be in the class. If you are registered for this class, and you do not know what I'm talking about, you need to message me or Casually Joseph on Discord and get this sorted out because we're going live at 11 a.m. 2 hours from now, and I don't want you to miss it. It's going to be a fast-moving train, baby. All right. What else we got? Yes, Mod Chat, the unauthorized stories. It's like Mod Chat gone wild. Too hot to handle, too cold to hold. Long John was on my lawn, says long-time watcher, first time in chat. Well, Long John Lawn, may I say, welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
All right. Hey, Mod Chat, can you is the background music quietly playing as an undertone? I'm curious. RK says, how do you feel about cyber projects posted on resumes? I know it's resumes. I'm just having some fun. I created a GitHub to showcase some practical skills for an analyst role. I have 7 years of experience working in tech. RK and everybody listening, you absolutely should have projects posted on your resume. If you have a GitHub, phenomenal. I wouldn't post, I would be succinct on real estate on your resume, but definitely link out to stuff. If you have a GitHub, if you have a portfolio, if you have a website, if you have a YouTube channel, if you're B-dubs and you have a blog, put all of that on your resume. It's vitally important. Listen, you're going to look at a lot of resumes if you're a hiring manager. You want to make sure that you have a really clear, think of it like a YouTube channel or like a snackable TikTok video. You want something compelling at the top that hooks the viewer or the hiring manager. Then you want some interesting information for them to, want to consume. And yes, 7 years of experience is awesome. High impact bullets is awesome. But if there's something about here's my GitHub, that is interesting and different. And if I've looked through 10 resumes, I would be interested in clicking on yours, because think about it from a human psyche perspective. My choices are to go look at the next resume or to go down a rabbit hole and go see what you do. I'm still doing my job of looking at resumes, but now I'm doing something more fun by looking at your projects. So think of projects posted on your resume, GitHub, whatever, as a three-dimensional opportunity to have a three-dimensional resume. I mean, I want to tell you, the whole reason that I have the PBCC course, literally, the whole reason I teach this course right here is because, dudes, I have a PhD in cyber operations. I've worked for 20 years in industry. I still had to apply for jobs. I started a YouTube channel, not for career progression, but to help people. And now companies reach out to me. I had a company, I'm not joking. I had a company email me this morning. I don't think they realize that I work for myself. They emailed me this morning and asked me to come work for them. What would it take? This happens. And it's because of this. It's a three-dimensional resume that speaks volumes. So RK, giddy up on that. I also don't want to misrepresent. I've only been reached out and offered a job. What will it take? 4, 5, 6 times in the last couple of years. So it's not like I'm getting these offers on the daily, just so everyone knows. I want to be real with you guys. All right, let's go to the next question. Hey, Connor, Connor would like you to link their GitHub to them through LinkedIn. Chat, you guys can't drop links, so you'll have to connect on LinkedIn. No, Elliot, I do not want to share that because I don't know what their processes are. All right. I will tell you that I saw the job posting somewhere else, though, so... Hey, Kevin says, hey, Dr. Ozier, do you have a favorite movie? What's your favorite book? Okay, so favorite movie, I will tell you, I got a couple. So I will tell you, anytime Shawshank Redemption's on, it's kind of hard to turn it off. In a very bizarre answer to this question, I can watch World War Z over and over and over again. I think it's such a great story. The zombies are fast zombies, so they don't really do jump scares a lot in World War Z. So I really like that movie. As far as a favorite book goes, I've given this answer before, and it's really, really telling of who I am as a nerd. But American Psycho is also a close second. Hold on. Forensics of Accounting Principles. Let me see this really quickly. Oh my God, I can't even think of the book right now. There's a book. I can't believe I can't think of it. If Jim Lund's in chat, he knows it. There's a book on, it's like forensics accounting, and it breaks it all up into a taxonomy. It's basically a book on how to commit fraud, but like the entire corpus of potential ways to commit fraud. I'm very much a conformist. It's very difficult for me to think like innovatively or like come up with like, you know, innovative novel attacks. Like that's why I wouldn't be a good threat actor or a red teamer, or security researcher, but I can appreciate that. And this forensics accounting book is really good. I will tell you a couple other books that are near and dear to my heart, books that I've read more than once. The Wheel of Time series, Jordan Sanderson and or Robert Jordan, excuse me. Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson later on in the books is phenomenal. And I'm actually reading the Stormlight Archive right now. I'm in book 3, so please no spoiler alerts. All right, let's keep going. So I see questions in mod chat, so I wouldn't be able to bring that up. But I'll just read the question in mod chat. Connor says, what kind of stuff would you put on your GitHub? Connor, write-ups, labs, software. If you write software, put them in there. You can go here. I mean, not that I'm probably not the best example, but here's my GitHub. So this is my GitHub. Right, I've got cyber resources. I wrote a tool for GRC people called GRC Assist. So like I have code. Where is it? Right, like so I've got code on my GitHub. I've got resources on my GitHub. I think there's blue team cheat sheets that I've linked to. You know, just stuff like that, right? So I actually have a video, Connor, on the channel on you can go to my YouTube channel, and I actually have a video on how to do 3 different projects for GRC. Notoriously, GRC has been difficult to have projects and portfolio things because it's mostly spreadsheets and dork stuff. But I have a 4-minute video on the stream or on the thing that on the YouTubes that are suggestions. So I don't know if you want to do GRC, but there you go. And anyone else who wants to do GRC, there you go. All right. Legrad says, Jerry, still no news on the TV show. I saw Night Studios post about it when it was in production, but nothing since. Yeah, Legrad, I don't know. Honestly, I don't want to comment on it. I don't want to say anything about it. I have no information at this time. I hate to be so aloof, but for the sake of reasons, I'll just say I have no information at this time. Kevin Sullivan, hey, Dr. Ozier, do you have a favorite? Oh, wait, I already answered that. Long John says, graduating from comp sci this spring. Oh, hold on really quick. I will say, Legrat, I definitely went to Las Vegas. I definitely filmed 6 episodes of the TV show. I definitely had guests. We definitely did it. I don't know where it is in post-production. Long John says, graduating from comp sci this spring and thinking of joining a networking team. Long term, I want to get to be part of a red team, purple team. Any advice on the route I can take to get there? Bless. So yeah, I mean, comp sci is great. I love comp sci. I have 2 comp sci degrees, frankly. If you want to be red, purple, you could totally do that. Really, I would think if you want to go red, you should start focusing on the hacking side, the offensive security side. That's ultimately going to lead to red. If you want, you can get training. So TCM Academy has great training on getting into that degree, into that career path and then doing pen testing. That would be more contract work. So if you are open to travel, Long John, that's how that works. You'd get contracts and travel Sometimes you can do it remotely. Sometimes you can not do it remotely. You'd have to be physical security. You could do bug bounty. That's a good way to do offensive security. I'd also tell you, Long John, there is an individual. I don't know how valid the content is now, but there's a guy named Hackersploit. That's his handle, Hackersploit. But Alexi, this dude's wicked cool, okay? And he has done so much for our community. He's kind of like the OG YouTube information security practitioner. He has done so much around network penetration testing. So if you are focused on that networking side, this is a great place to go. Now, remember, even though you want to be a network focused pen tester, red teamer, you really do need to get good at Linux and good at Windows and Windows sysinternals and privilege escalation and all those things. So that's what I would tell you. Hopefully that helps you. Threat logic. Oh, it's 9:30. I'm going to answer a couple more questions and then I got to go because I'm teaching a 4-hour class starting today and I got some stuff I got to do, work stuff before it. So consider this the speed round. Threat logic. I've been asked by CISO to deliver a cyber risk awareness aligned with business risk training to our non-technical execs. What would you advise the approach? Oh, man, this is a great question, Threat logic. Can we pull this up on stream? Like, this is a great question. Hold on, damn it. BSEC, if you can find that question, it's from Threat Logic. It starts with a Q. Basically, cyber risk awareness aligned with business risk. First of all, figure out what the business risk, like what's the biggest risk to your business, right? And then you have to come up with some like very sexy, very splashy, thank you, BSEC, very sexy, very splashy story. Storytelling is a very, very effective way to engage people. I'm such a dork. Just for insider jokes here, BSEC is able to pin comments and they go to a separate section. This question was pinned. So, guy, I eat green M&Ms in my trailer. I'm a diva. So anyways, figure out basically what I would tell you, Threat Logic, is make sure that it's an interesting story and it's got kind of like that story arc of here's an interesting thing. Here's the apex of the problem. Here's how it was resolved. Here's what it means to you. You've got to remember, and by the way, don't get very into the weeds. Keep it at like 30,000 feet. Don't say 0 day. Don't even mention like firewalls and stuff like that. Make it relatable to them. Help everyone in that room understand what this means to them. It's not about you puffing your chest out and showing how cool you are. It's about helping them see the meaning behind it, okay? Also, you may want to, if you can do this at the beginning as like an icebreaker, but you could be like, you could say something, bring up some stuff that has nothing to do with what your actual talk is. So like, hey, do you guys get text messages all the time about UPS packages that are at the warehouse? That's criminals trying to attack you. Do you get emails about, whatever? Have you gotten text messages from random people saying like, what's up? That's another scam that threat actors do. Like, things that they personally have experienced is going to be a great way to resonate with them and get them kind of like softened up to be able to receive your message. Jazzy Jazz, what's the website you were talking about earlier? I believe OCR, where you have seen who's been hacked and how many. Yeah, no problem. Here we go. It's HHS, so Health and Human Services, OCR, Office of Civil Rights, breach reporting. And this is it right here. Oh, wait, hold on. That's not breach reporting. It's the OCR portal. Okay. Look at this. Lexington Diagnostic Center. They got breached on Christmas Eve. 30,000 people. Well, Richmond University Medical Center. They got hit in 2023, but this is the story we just covered today. 675,000 people. I'll drop a link in chat, Jazzy Jazz. But if you Google HHS OCR breach portal, you'll get it. All right. A couple more questions because I really got work to do here. Rich B, Simply Cyber, any suggestions for someone about to graduate with a bachelor's in cyber in March? Congratulations on that. Zero experience and I'm old. Well, I know it's kind of late to the game. You're welcome, Jazzy Jazz. It's kind of late to the game, Rich B, but hopefully you have been engaging with your faculty, with your peers, other students. Whenever you're learning or engaged in something, network. Find out, make friends, build community. That's the huge way to do it. Obviously, Rich B, keep engaging with the Simply Cyber community. You have zero experience, which means you need to start getting practical skills. Practical skills reign supreme. Do labs, do portfolios, document it, show it off, and that's how you're going to do it. Okay. What are your thoughts on Prabha Nair, India's biggest GRC YouTuber? Do you have any plans on inviting? I've never heard of that individual, Threat Logic, so I don't know. I mean, I'm open to having anyone really come on the channel. It's more about like connecting with them. And Egg Drew says, graduated, got a job writing embedded software. Job was toxic, got laid off with zero feedback. Now I can't get myself go at my projects on my own advice. Now I can't get myself to go at my projects on my own. Egg Drew, I guess what I will say is maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Toxic sucks. What I would say is, listen, and this is for everybody listening, and this is the final question, okay? For everybody listening, remember, when you, Egg Drew, spend an hour on a project or a week on a project and you put it on your GitHub, it's there forever. It continues to pay dividends. Investing in yourself is not bad. If you just do it and then don't tell anyone or document it, that's, you'll get the knowledge. But I'll give you a perfect example. I have a YouTube channel with like 1,500, maybe close to 2,000 videos on it right now. Whenever someone asks me a question, I love being able to say, I have a video for that. Long timers know I love saying that. So if you can't get yourself motivated to get up and do a project, think about it this way. And hey, I'm not saying you're selfish, right? But human nature, people can be selfish, right? So think about this. If you invest right now, Egg Drew, a week on a project and document it and build it up, what you're really doing is you are setting up future Egg Drew for success. Imagine if you could do something today to help yourself tomorrow, right? So like, I guess like a really long example of this is like investing in your retirement accounts. Yeah, it sucks to take a part of your paycheck and put it in retirement. I would much rather buy great beer or go on a trip or something like that. But what I'm doing is I'm letting 65-year-old Jerry know that he's going to feel pretty good about the situation. It's selfish because I'm doing a favor for myself in the future. This is the same thing. Get the motivation that you're doing yourself a solid. And I'm telling you, once you build community and network and document all these things, you're like, say you do these projects on your own, Egg Drew. Getting back to what Connor said before, you'll have a link on your resume going off and showing the initiative you took. Listen, initiative is so hot.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
Initiative is sexy. Proactivity is hot. If I'm looking at someone and all they did was like sit back and wait to be given things, and I'm looking at someone else who took initiative, who took proactivity and ran with something, that is way more desirable as a hiring manager, because I know I can say, hey, listen, I've got this challenge or this new compliance regulations coming down. Can you do me a favor and go find out what this means to us? And I know you've demonstrated initiative. You're going to go find out what it means to us. I don't need to give you transactional prescriptive guidance on how to do it. So that frees me up to continue doing my work while I know you can take high-level guidance and go execute the work, versus the other person where I say, hey, I need you to go figure out what CMMC means for us. And they're like, what's CMMC? And I'm like, it's this new regulation coming down from the US government for us to do work with the DoD. Can you please go find out what it means to us? And they're like, who should I ask? And you're like, go ask the project team, go ask IT, go ask the manufacturing line leads on what they do and what projects are we currently doing at this business that has to do with the DoD? When do those contracts expire? Who do I ask about the contract? Like, already, I should have just done it myself, right? So that is the implicit massive value to initiative. And how do you demonstrate that? By doing the things that you're talking about, Egg Drew. No one's going to make you do these projects on your own. You are going to make you do the projects on your own. And when you do them, I know, or the hiring manager knows, that you made yourself do them on your own. There is power and value in that. All right, guys, I got to get out of here. I've got some work to do. Mistborn, actually, Sean Spratt, I've actually read Mistborn twice. Mistborn as a single book, the first book stands on its own, but then when you read book 2 and 3, like, all right, guys, I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. You guys are awesome. Thank you so very much. DJ BSEC behind the glass, mod chat, in stream. I guess my hair gets a credit line now because it's taken over part of the stream. For those who are in the PBCC course, I will see you soon. Looking forward to it. Guys, I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Until next time, tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, stay secure. And Stacey McKence, I hope you come back. Let's go.